Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm here today to do my 2014 reading wrap-up. So I did one of these videos last year, and basically all it is I'm going to show you all of the books that I read this year and what I rated them, and that's it. I'm not going to give any reviews or anything like that. If you're interested in seeing all of the books that I read in 2013, then I will make sure to link that video down below so you could check that out as well. I ended up reading, I think, 83 books this year, which totally surpassed my goal of 75, which is really awesome. So I have a lot of books to get through, so I'm just going to start right now. Okay, here we go. Starting with January. City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. I rated this a 4 out of 5. Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. I rated this one a 5 out of 5. The Walking Dead graphic novel volume 10. I rated this one a 5 out of 5 as well. Angel Fall by Susan E., which I also rated a 5 out of 5. This book is friggin' amazing. Prodigy by Marie Lu, which is the second book in the Legend trilogy. I rated this one a 5 out of 5. Vampire Academy by Richelle Mead. I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5. I also read the Vampire Academy graphic novel volume 1, which I rated a 3 out of 5. Finally, in the month of January, I read Beauty Queens by Libba Bray, which I gave a 2 out of 5. Clearly my least favorite book of that month. Blech. Moving into February, the first book that I read in February was The Treatment by Suzanne Young, which is the second book in the Program duology. I rated this a 5 out of 5. Love this duology. Love it, love it, love it. Shatter Me by Tara Moffey, which I rated a 4 out of 5 stars. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World Volume 2 graphic novel. I ended up giving this one a 2 out of 5 stars. Was really disappointed because I loved the first one, but the second one was just not good. Then I also read Anya's Ghost by Vera Brosgol, and I ended up giving this one a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. Just One Day by Gail Forman, which I gave a 2 out of 5. Ugh, I don't understand why so many people love this book. I didn't like it, like, at all. Then I read the novella Destroy Me by Tara Moffey, which I gave a 5 out of 5. Moving into March, the first book that I read in March was I've Got Your Number by Sophie Kinsella. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. Fantastic adult contemporary. I friggin' loved it so much. Next book I read in March was my #1 book pick of the year, and that was Cress by Marissa Meyer, the third book in the Lunar Chronicles series, and I obviously loved it. This was my #1 book of 2014, 5 out of 5, clearly. Finally, in the month of March, I read Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 as well. I liked this one a lot better than I liked Anna, and yeah, I'm a huge Cricket fan, big time. Moving into April, I read Hollow City by Ransom, which I rated a 4 out of 5 stars. This is the second book in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series, and I liked it. It was not as good as the first one, but I definitely still enjoyed it. Then I read Pushing the Limits by Katie McGarry, which I ended up giving a 2 out of 5 stars, but looking back to it, I think I might even push that down to a 1 star because I just hated that book so much. I hated it. Sorry, not sorry. Then I read The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken, which I ended up giving a 5 out of 5 stars. This was a fantastic dystopian story. I loved it. Then I read Burn for Burn by Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian, and I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. Oh my god. Oh my god, I love that book so much. Definitely recommend that series. Finally, in April, I read City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare, which is the 5th book in the Immortal Instrument series. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Moving into May, I started with The Last Forever by Deb Coletti, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. This was a really cute contemporary book. Very, very cute. Then I read Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins, which I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. One of my favorite books of the year. It was so good. Then I read My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. Another one of my favorite books of the year, I read Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout, the first book in the Lux series. If you have not picked up this series yet, you definitely should. It's fantastic. 5 out of 5. Then I read The Walking Dead graphic novel volume 11, another 5 out of 5 stars for me. I love this series. It's so good. Then I read A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, which I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Looking for Alaska by John Green, which I gave a 2 out of 5 stars. I didn't enjoy this book, like, at all. I hated the characters, just didn't like it. And finally, in May, I read Stardust by Neil Gaiman, which I ended up giving a 3 out of 5 stars. Moving into June, I read a lot of books in June. I started with Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Dellaira, which I ended up giving a 3 out of 5 stars. I didn't like it as much as everyone else seemed to. Then I reread The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, which once again I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. I love this book. It's one of my favorites. Then I read Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken, which is the second book in the Darkest Minds trilogy. I ended up giving this one a 4 out of 5 stars. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but it was still really, really good. Onyx by Jennifer L. Armentrout, second book in the Lux series. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. And I took it out in the sun and I broke it in half. Dang it. Then I reread Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which of course I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Catch a Falling Star by Kim Culbertson, which I ended up giving a 4 out of 5 stars, another really cute contemporary. And then another one of my all-time favorite books of the year, I read Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson, 5 out of 5, amazing. If you have not read this, please read it, it's so good. Then I reread Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and once again, 5 out of 5 stars. Harry Potter is just one of my favorite series, so they all get 5s. Then I read Through to You by Lauren Barnholt, which I ended up giving a 2 out of 5 stars. Looking back, I think it might be a 1. It was just awful. I would send it for review and I felt really bad for having to give it such a bad review, but it was terrible and I do not recommend it at all. Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Cinderella, the graphic novel, volume 1, which I ended up giving a 2 out of 5 stars, and this was part of like the Fables series, and I don't know, just overall not impressed at all. I didn't enjoy it, so not continuing with that. Champion by Marie Lu, which is the third and final book in the Legend trilogy, I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. It was a pretty good conclusion to the series. Then I read Landline by Rainbow Rowell, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. I'm sure a lot of people are very shocked by that, but I still absolutely loved this book. Her writing is so amazing. Love. Finally, in June, I read The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han, and I ended up giving this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Moving into July, I started off the month by continuing the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy with It's Not Summer Without You, which I also gave a 4 out of 5 stars. And I finished the series with We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han, and I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. I loved this last book. It was really good. Next, I read Confessions of a Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. It was so cute. I love Sophie Kinsella. Opal by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which is the third book in the Lux series, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Mouse, the graphic novel, volume 1, A Survivor's Tale, and this is by Art Spiegelman, and I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. This was an unbelievable graphic novel, just so good. Funny Thing Is by Ellen DeGeneres, which I ended up giving a 3 out of 5 stars. It does not even compare to Seriously I'm Kidding by her, but it's still funny and it's just a really short, quick read, so it's still good. Delirium by Lauren Oliver, which I ended up giving a 3 out of 5 stars. Like, it was okay, but it just didn't impress me or wow me in any way, and I probably won't be continuing on with the series. Then I read Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars, and I really enjoyed it, and I really wish that I hadn't seen the movie first, because I feel like if I hadn't seen the movie first, it would have been a 5. Finally, in July, I read Say What You Will by Kami McGovern, which I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. This was a fantastic book. I loved it. Moving into August, I started off with Beach Colors by Shelley Noble, which is an adult contemporary. I gave this one a 3 out of 5 stars. Then I read The Best of Me by Nicholas Sparks. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. This is one of my favorite Nicholas Sparks books. Like, it was so good. That ending, crazy. Another one of my favorite books of the year, Fire and Flood by Victoria Scott. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. I recommend this book to everyone. It's really good. Definitely check this out. Then I read If I Stay by Gail Forman, which I ended up giving a 5 out of 5 stars. Oh, so good. So sad, but so good. Another ridiculously sad book, I read Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. Morgan Matson's amazing, and this book is one of the saddest books I've ever read. It's just so good. Then I read What Happened to Forever by Sarah Dessen. I ended up giving this a 3 out of 5 stars, which is pretty low for me for Sarah Dessen. It was just okay. It wasn't anything impressive, I guess. And then finally, in the month of August, I read Frostbite by Richelle Mead, which is the second book in the Vampire Academy series, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. Moving into September, I read The Rosie Project by Graham Simpson, and I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Dangerous Creatures by Kami Garcia and Margaret Stoles, which is the spin-off series to Beautiful Creatures, and I gave this book a 1 out of 5. Stay away. It's so awful. It was just terrible. I hated it. Then, to redeem that, I ended up reading World After by Susan E., which I loved. 5 out of 5 stars. This series is another one that I highly recommend. It's just so good. Moving into October, I read Unravel Me by Matson. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, second book in the Shatter Me trilogy. Fantastic. Following that, I couldn't resist, but I had to read Ignite Me by Matson, which is the third and final book in the Shatter Me trilogy. 5 out of 5 stars, my favorite book of the series. It was just, so good. Robopocalypse by Daniel H. Wilson, which I ended up giving a 3 out of 5 stars. Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout, a 5 out of 5 star book. I love her, so good. Finally, in the month of October, I read The Walking Dead graphic novel volume 12. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars because I feel like it was a lot of build up for the next one, but still really good. I love these. Moving into November, I read Girl of Nightmares by Kendar Blake, the second book in the Anna duology. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Can You Keep a Secret by Sophie Kinsella. I also gave this one a 4 out of 5. And then finally in November, I finished The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, which I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Moving into December, these books are already packed away, but I did finish reading Saga Volume 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I have Volume 4 right here. I gave all 4 of these 5 out of 5 stars. This graphic novel series is amazing. You need to get into it if you are an adult and not a kid, because they're not kid-friendly at all. So good. Then I read My True Love Gave to Me by 12 different authors and edited by Stephanie Perkins. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. It was just such an adorable holiday read. Then I read Yes Please by Amy Poehler, which I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Fantastic. Recommend it as an audiobook for sure. Chocolate Wishes by Trisha Ashley, which I ended up giving a 2.5 stars. I was just very underwhelmed. You know, I wouldn't recommend this really. It's just okay. Then I read Fire with Fire by Jenny Han, Shabab Vivian, which is the second book in the Burn for Burn trilogy. 5 out of 5 stars. That ending made me go crazy. Holy Toledo Batman, so good. World War Z by Max Brooks, which I ended up giving a 2 out of 5 stars. I didn't like it I really didn't like it at all. It was just too military for me. It's too much of a boy book. I just wasn't a fan. Then I read The Book of Ivy by Amy Engel, 5 out of 5 stars, 1,000 out of 5 stars. I wish I had finished this before I did my top 14 of 2014 because this would have been on it and it would have been very high. This book was amazing. It's just so freaking good. And finally, the last book that I read in 2014 was The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hawkins, which I ended up giving a 4 out of 5 stars. Whew. Okay guys, so those were all of the books that I read in 2014, and I've got to say overall it was a fantastic reading year for me. I read a lot of amazing books and I read a lot of books, so I definitely knocked my TBR down quite a lot, which is great. So let me know down below how many books you read this year. I would love to know, and what you think of some of the books I read. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!